Righto, let's start with a quick explanation of the class trial. Today we'll be looking at the murder of Santa Claus, big red fluffy happy man, whacked with a fatal blow to the back of his head. The murderer was one of you lot, and yeah, you gotta figure out who it was. If the killer gets found out, they lose and get executed. If the killer gets away with it, they win and everybody else gets executed instead.
Why is it we gotta do it with this convoluted trial thing?
Well, if you refuse to participate, I'll kill you. Can't have any party poopers around here. Also, the killer would get away, and that would be awfully boring.
Oh, the worries of being kidnapped by a psychopathic robot. You mean we have to solve the murder?
Well, the best first step is to look at all the facts we've gathered in our investigation. Santa's body was discovered in the second floor science lab at 12 p.m. The ones who discovered it were John and Jake, who then immediately called the rest of us over.
Actually, it was more John's scream that did that.
Why is Santa's blood pink again?
When was the last time we saw Santa alive?
I saw him at breakfast at 10 a.m. We all saw him at 10, you doof.
I saw him enter the science lab at 11:15, and Remarkable was with me.
I am Princess Celestia.
Oh, and I guess Celestia was with us too.
So therefore we can deduce that the murder happened sometime between the 45-minute gap of 11:15 and 12 p.m.
That's a big gap. Anybody could have walked in that entire time. Nobody has an alibi.
Actually, I was with Pumpkin the whole time.
Yes, trying to sell me a comb if I recall. Is that really an alibi though? What if you're just co-conspirators?
If I was the murderer and got away with it, that would basically be suicide for Pumpkin.
You're just saying that to cover your own ass.
Besides that, there's also the science room door's lock. It was definitely broken while it was already locked, meaning the door was either broken into or broken out of. Why is that important? Because the door was definitely locked at 11:55. I tried it myself. There was meant to be a meeting in that room with me, Jake, John, and Santa at 12 p.m. So I left the cafeteria at 11:50 to go there. I arrived 5 minutes early and saw that the door was locked, so I thought the meeting was called off.
Yet the door opened fine when I arrived 5 minutes later.
So sometime between those 5 minutes, the murderer must have broken out of the room.
Shame, because if I saw who that was, they'd be dead.
Thanks, but we don't need a recap of the history of your strength. Another issue is that the lock was broken internally, unlike traditionally where, you'd hit it.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think this is a pretty open and shut case. It was obviously Scott.
What? You can't just say that.
You can't tell me I'm the only one that notices how obvious this is. Scott, as the murderer, literally just has to make up whatever he wants and he's off the hook. As the most recent one to show up at the crime scene alone, he's obviously the culprit. Scott's lying. He says he tried opening the door at 11:55, but he's the one who broke it.
Are you kidding? I had no time to have done that.
You had all the time in the world. You left the cafeteria at 11:50. That's 10 full minutes. Santa was killed by a whack from his bionic arm. There was no better time. They were all alone. It was the perfect crime. Scott's lying. He says he tried opening the door at 11:55, but he's the one who broke it.
Are you kidding? I had no time to have done that.
You had all the time in the world. You left the cafeteria at 11:50. That's 10 full minutes. Santa was killed by a whack from his bionic arm. There was no better time.
No, that's wrong!
Cash, there's a serious flaw in your argument.
What?
You say that Scott could have killed Santa completely risk-free because they were completely alone.
Yeah, duh.
They were going to have a meeting in that room not 10 minutes later, not just Scott and Santa. But both Jake and John were on their way, and Scott had no way of knowing when they were both going to arrive.
Well, that one's easy. He just made sure to watch both of their movements to make sure they weren't arriving early.
No, that's also impossible. Because Scott was in the cafeteria for at least the past 30 minutes. I saw him myself, along with several others. There's no way you could have scouted Jake and John so intently when they weren't even in the same location. In fact, this proves Scott could not have been the one to do it. He was the only one besides John and Jake that knew there was a meeting scheduled in there at all.
Alright, I guess you got me there.
Well, somebody had to have broken that lock. If it wasn't Scott, who was it?